Okay John, we can now look at the ineffective elevator at the stall, which is the main symptom of the stall, if you recall. So what I'm going to do is do quite a steep stall, and as the nose starts dropping, I will pull the stick right back and tap it against the backstop to demonstrate to you that even though the stick's right back, the nose is going to pitch down. Okay? So here we go. So to do a steeper stall, I'm just going to accelerate the glider a little bit to get us better nose pitch up. Up we go. Gets quieter, speed's decaying quite rapidly. Buff it. Stick all the way back and let the nose pitch right down. Stick century forward, regain flying speed, return to normal gliding attitude. What we're going to look at this time, John, is the high-speed stall. So before we do it, we're going to do a normal stall, and I'd like you to note the speed at which the glider stalls and the attitude, okay? So here we go. Nose high attitude. Just tell me when you start feeling the buffet. There's about 32 knots. Recover 6 entry forward, regain flying speed. Right, this time I'm going to do it, but when I recover, I'm going to pretend that we're a bit close to the ground, so we're going to recover a bit too quickly because you think the ground's rushing up too fast. And when we do so, I'd like you to note the speed and the attitude when you feel buffet and the glider starts stalling, okay? So here we go. So, normal stalls, up it comes. There's the attitude. 44 knots that was. So bring the nose up, I'm keeping the stick neutral. Letting the glider stall. Let it accelerate, pull. 44 knots. What I'm doing there is actually covering too early. That's 45 knots there, blogs. The stick's all the way back. To recover, stick century forward, regain flying speed, return to normal gliding attitude. So that's a good 10 knots higher than we had before, and the attitude was lower than the original stall. Therefore, if you've got a high-speed stall taking place, your low indicated airspeed, it gets quieter symptoms, might not be relevant. So it's something to bear in mind. Okay John, we're going to look at stall speed increasing in the turn, okay? I'm going to demonstrate to you as the more bank you put on, the higher the stall speed is of the glider. So we'll start off with a normal unaccelerated stall speed just to remind ourselves of what the stall speed is. As soon as you see the buffet, make a note of the indicated airspeed. So up we come. There's the buffet there. It's about 34 knots, okay? So, stick century forward, regain flying speed, return to normal gliding attitude. I'm now going to put on about 10 degrees of bank. Round to the right, and we'll do the same again. So there's your 10 degrees or so. I'm now going to gently breathe the speed off whilst maintaining the same angle of bank. And there's the buffet now. That went at 36 knots, so we've already got an increase in the stall speed, okay? So roll the wings level. Now I'm going to do it at thermal turn, so sort of 45 degrees angle of bank. Pull round to the right again. I'd like you to note the attitude and the speed when you feel the buffet. So there's our thermal turn. String in the middle, keeping the bank constant, bleeding the speed back until we feel the buffet. Feeling buffet now. At 40 knots now, blogs. Okay, and the attitude is relatively flat. As soon as I relax the backward pressure on the stick, the buffet goes. As soon as I bring the stick back, the buffet comes on. It's at 40 knots. I'm now going to do it at 60 degrees of bank, and I'd like you to note the attitude and the speed at which the glide you start to feel the buffet. Okay, so rolling into 60 degrees of bank this time, nice and tight. Bleed the speed back. I've got buffet now, 45 knots, blogs. Look, the attitude is relatively nose down. I'm also having to hold a relatively large amount of outboard aileron in to keep the bank constant. This is one of the symptoms of the approaching departure for a spin. As soon as you relax the backward pressure, the pre-stall buffet goes. So as you can see, the greater the bank, the higher the stalling speed. Something to watch. And again, the symptoms of the stall, low indicated airspeed, and it gets quieter. It wasn't necessarily the case in that example of approaching the stall. Right, John, what I'm going to just demonstrate to you is that the low G feeling, the feeling you get when you go over Humpback Bridge, is not a reliable symptom of the stall. Sometimes people in the past have got confused with this. So the first thing we're going to do is just do a normal unaccelerated stall, and as the nose drops and pitches nose down, I'd like you to just make a note and set the sensation. It's pushing yourself up into the straps. Low G sensation. So here we go. It'll be relatively steep stall. So nose pitches up, unusual attitude for the stage of flight. Speed's decaying, getting quieter. Sticks coming back, unusual stick position. Sticks all the way back, nose pitches down. In fact, we'll just do that a bit better because we want a bit more of a sensation. So we'll do a bit more violently, okay? So it's much bigger pitch nose up. Sticks all the way back, right? Sticks entry forward, regain flying speed, return to normal gliding attitude. Now, you might have noticed that sensation of falling away, of being pushed up into the straps. But what I'm going to do is just demonstrate to you that that's not always a reliable sensation. Remember, my recovery was sticks entry forward, regain flying speed. However, if we did the similar thing again, so off we go, pitch nose up. This time I'm pushing over the top, like so. You've got a similar sensation, yet the elevator is effective, look. The glider's still flying, so it's stick back to recover, because the glider has not stalled. What you don't want to do is have that sensation and think the glider's stalling, and then push the stick forward.